So, did you watch AEW? Oh boy, what was the end? Joe, do you got the number? I don't.
See
I'm
if it's
assuming
out.
this number wasn't that great. I might be wrong.
Okay. 818.
Yeah. What was it last week? 850 something, right?
837 last week.
Yeah. Well, it just
It's not
wasn't.
good, bro. That's not good.
Well,
You're
first,
slowly
first.
going down, not up.
Well, let's just
Yeah.
start off. They start off. They show the CMLO guys sitting at ringside. Okay, and I have no clue who these guys are. They just showed them like I'm
Right.
supposed to
They don't
know.
even explain why they're there, who
Right,
they are. Right.
right.
You're
There's
supposed to know.
four guys in masks.
Right.
So
You know what I
John,
was thinking when I was looking at this? I was thinking,
yeah,
I'm a lucha guy, so I know who they are. But if you're not, you're thinking, who the fuck are these guys?
bro,
Like with the Japanese. Why are
you're
they
right.
there? Why isn't the commentator explaining it?
Let me go one better. Say you haven't watched a show in 3 weeks, and
Right.
you turn it on, and the first thing they're doing is just showing these guys. You have no clue who they are, and like Moxley is wrestling Jeff Hardy. It's like, why is he wrestling Jeff Hardy? They go
Right.
15 minutes, and the whole thing to set up for this was Moxley gets thrown over the rail over by the CMLL guys at one point,
Right. Yeah.
and they kind of like are shoving him in the back. And
Right.
bro, Moxley, the one guy sitting right that stood up. Okay, I don't know who that was. The first guy,
Yeah.
bro. Moxley looked like Andre the Giant compared to this guy. Like he
Right.
looked like he was a foot taller than him. I was like, did
Right.
you notice that? I was like, Moxley's like, wait, okay, I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after the match, Moxley and Jeff Hardy, they go to shake hands, right? Because Jeff Hardy allegedly got choked out. So when he
Yeah. And he
comes
flipped
to, he
them
goes to
off.
shake hands. They flipped him off and walked
Right.
away. So and then
Now,
then
does that mean he's a heel? Because I read a lot of people say that the beginning of the turn of a heel. I'm like, is it really?
yeah.
I-
So
Do you think that's
so
what's
that
happening here?
yeah. I mean, I would think so, or maybe bro,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, they're doing nothing with the guy. Maybe this him flicking the guy off after the match is in their minds.
I just
They're
think
doing
that
something.
Jeff Hardy is like Rey Mysterio. I can't really see him as a heel, but he may
Right.
surprise me.
So then, this, I thought they wanted to get heat out of this, but Moxley stood on the ropes after the match and taunted the CMLL guys.
Right. Right.
So the CMLL guys came on the rail and beat him up.
Right.
It wasn't like a sneak attack or anything. It's like he like challenged them, and they came
He
over
egged
like
them on, yeah.
they came and started beating him up. Then I don't know why. Why did the Blackpool Combat Club come out to help him? Because Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Matt Sydal, and Chris Daniels came off, and the announcers were trying to sell this as, well, like they don't work here, so people are coming out of the locker room to like fight. Like did you notice that? That's something they're trying to sell this. Like
Yeah.
some random wrestlers
That,
came out because one of their guys was getting beat up by four random guys that don't work there. Is what they were selling. Did you get
right.
that out of
And
that?
Yeah.
that's how they sold it. But
Right.
so, but the thing is that what's this guy's name? Oh, Harry Ruiz was telling us, and I don't know if they said it during the show or BTE or what came out that um, that the Black Combat Club or whatever they
Black
weren't
Blackpool
there.
Combat.
They were yeah they weren't there that night.
Right.
Okay, all right.
That's the reason they didn't come out. Okay, so it
Okay,
was covered somewhere and I missed it.
right. So
You
next
know,
is
and I will say this: kudos to Mox for expanding his repertoire from just punches and chops to he actually did two cool submissions.
right. So the next match is one of the reasons why I think this show is flat. They're the dealer's choice match, and for some reason, Swerve chose Toa Leona to challenge Hangman Page. They went like 12 minutes. He gave the guy a lot. The guy got Toa Leona started getting blown up near the end because the show got slow and kind of like lazy missed clothesline spots at the end and everything. But Hangman Page didn't even beat him with the Hangman Page went for the buckshot lariat.
He
Instead of
should
just
not
hitting him
have
with
broken that,
okay,
bro.
the guy ducked it, and I'm like that big
Yeah.
slow guy like ducked your finish, like just
No,
unnecessary.
but no, I got that mixed up. Did you the dead eye, the one that where he gets him in the back and he goes down?
Uh-huh.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Well, he went for the Samoan drop out of it, and then he did the crucifix pin. So I don't know.
No. But he hit him during the match with that thing where he puts him on his back, and then he just kind of sits down, and the guy's supposed to land on his head. You know, you
Uh-huh.
don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking
Like
about?
like a pile driver, but he's on your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, he broke out of that. Why would he do that there?
I don't
You know, for no reason. This is a random match.
Right.
That's a big move.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the funny thing about this was that the announcers were really selling that Page was 3-0, and if he goes to 4-0, it's going to help him in the rankings. That was like the gist. So
Well, I saw
after the match,
Tony
yeah.
tweeted the rankings too. So
Well,
he's
no, I was
clearly,
going to say because Excalibur after the match, had Tony Khan said the rankings would be revealed after the show. Okay.
there you go.
All right. So Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson did a thing earlier where they come out of a limo and they were all dressed in their kind of like their obnoxious gimmicks. With the mustaches, and he scolded the
Well, they have a
format guy.
goatee now.
They had a staffer. He handed him a format sheet. The next Nick scolded the man for calling him Nick and Matt and fined him $500. And once Nick walked away, Matt apologized to his brother and told the man to make sure he pays the fine.
So I know Disco, you're gonna love analyzing the rankings, but I'm just curious. I'm looking at them now, and why would Roderick Strong be in the top 5
I have
contenders?
no clue.
I mean, has he won a lot of matches recently?
They make no sense. But bro, FTR isn't even in the tag rankings anymore. They're in the 6-man rankings because they're with Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
Like how brutal is that?
Yeah.
So next is the Undisputed Kingdom comes out, who's kind of flat as a pancake now. They're just not intimidating or anything. They just walk out. Wardlow comes out. He wrestled Commander. Commander did a move off the top rope, a triple flip thing where he landed right on Wardlow's face with his knee and almost broke his face. And then Wardlow picks him up for the power bomb, and his knee buckled. But he hits him with the power bomb, covering for 3 counts. At least it only went 4 minutes. He should, this guy shouldn't have given him much of a match. But after the match, Taven and Strong joined him in the ring, and Bennett tossed Commander back inside the ring. And Strong told Commander they should have taken the deal he offered him on Saturday and said he would pay the price. Then Orange Cassidy and Trent Barrett and Chuck Taylor ran out, and Wardlow was down at ringside, and Strong thanked Cassidy and his crew for coming out and then said, "See you later." Strong, Taven, and Bennett exited the ring, and Wardlow was limping on the floor from his knee buckling on the power bomb. But like I said, this was no. They tried to do an angle to forward the Roderick Strong Orange Cassidy thing, and this was lame. Like what do you think of this, Konnan?
Hello?
Yeah. What did you think of this?
Yeah. Poor Wardlow, bro. He comes out with that really JoJo looking group that they don't come out for stars. They just come up as another
Group.
bunch of guys. And I look at this, it reminds me of like public access TV, like after school drama class type, like doesn't feel professional and polished in so many things, right? Just production's the only thing that makes it, but poor guy, Commander landed on the side of his neck, and then he went to do a power bomb, and he pulled something in his knee.
Yeah.
Fit in with this group. Let me just say that.
He should be alone. And bro, why is he not interested? He's done nothing with Joe. He should be calling out Joe like this. I thought that was the end.
That's a perfect point, bro. Why isn't he going after Joe? And by the way, the first thing they would do to Wardlow if he went Joe's way, they'd give him a manager that could talk for him, right?
Right.
When this guy can actually talk.
Right. So they did a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone in between Sting and Darby Allin and Ricky Starks and Big Bill. I'll be honest. I'm just going to tell you how I watched this.
Right.
Tony Schiavone immediately said there's going to be no physicality, which to me is always like so, I don't know. But Ricky Starks' explanation of why he has heat with this is because he lost the first match that Sting had in AEW to Sting.
Right, that cinematic match.
And that's why he's got. And I was like, really? Right. I literally fast forwarded.
3 years later, yeah.
I don't know what they said or what they were like, because if that was the gist of what this was all about, I fast forwarded that he got up and they got in his Starks got in Allen's face after he threw water at him, and Sting pulled Allen back, and Sting said he's always hated talk. He said Allen would hit Starks in the ring, And I will too, Sting said. What did you think of this?
Well, I'm going to put this over only for this reason because number one, it was a different setting. It wasn't just backstage. And number two, they put a little time into it. And you can see something I think Darby and Starks could be really good matches.
Yeah.
They both have a lot of fire. Yeah.
Right.
What do you think about Ricky's combination leather shirt and then the snakeskin pants? That's
Oh, he's trying to stick out. I mean,
Yeah,
that looks cool.
He's got a cool look.
I'm more into the fact that this guy's wearing a baby blue cap that matches with nothing unless he has baby blue Tims or something.
It is a Yankees hat too, so I'm sure that has heat with you.
So Jericho wrestles.
Yeah, let's double the heat.
So Jericho wrestles Kyle Fletcher, and he's out there with Don Callis and Hobbs. This is not a bad match, and there's actually a really cool spot near the end where Jericho got thrown to the floor, and this Kyle Fletcher guy, I thought they were going to do this stupid thing where Jericho stands there, and the guy he looks at the guy, and the guy just comes diving at him and takes a dive, but Jericho, when Kyle Fletcher went to do the tope, Jericho gave him the elbow thing, what do they call it?
Yeah, that was great.
That was a really good spot. But he throws him back in the ring and he ducks one, but then he hit him with another Judas effect and then beat him. But that was very, very clever spot. I like the finishing sequence of this, but like this didn't really mean much. By the way, Hobbs tried to interfere. Jericho ran him in the steps, and after the match, Takeshita walked onto the stage because they're wrestling. He's wrestling Jericho next week, and he made he did this, Konnan. He did the throat slash gesture for next week.
No. He did this. He did this.
What did he do? Yeah, right. Yeah, and then.
Well, I would I'll pay for this at that point, But let me just.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. So let me just say this. This is the same formula as Toya Leona and Page.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show that the guy can hang with me in a long match, and then I beat him. Same thing with Jericho and Fletcher.
Right.
This guy is good, but he means nothing. He's got zero character development, and that's on creative. Don knows how to do it. Takeshi, the same thing. He's just another guy, but just happens to be Japanese. They don't really. What do we really know about him? Why aren't they doing vignettes with him? Why aren't they doing back? You know what I'm saying? There's no connection, so he's just another guy.
Right. So this is.
Would you disagree with that?
No, not at all.
Just real quick here, Houseman has stayed on this Jericho. He still tweets about it.
That's ridiculous.
I just happened to be looking, so I just want you to
let it go.
Some of it, yeah.
What do you say?
He's writing the lyrics to Judas right here. And then he's making fun of Chris doing karaoke on the cruise, saying it's crazy. Chris Jericho dressed as a commercialized mascot who lures the young and influential to make bad life decisions. I guess that's the Weekend, or he's doing a Weekend song.
Bro, I don't.
That's not a good look, bro.
Don't get the schmuck anymore.
But
I don't want to hear anything.
This is the only reason, because now he's taking a mental health day. It's been a very, very trying month for Nick. So.
He's taking a mental health day?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's what he says. That's why I brought it up.
For God's sakes.
But I think,
right,
another mental health day.
Well, let's keep going.
Take a bubble bath.
I don't get
candles. But another thing that spun off from that, Di, just real quick, is he canceled that show, the Rumor and Innuendo show where he did that initial Jericho report. First that went down, off ad-free shows, and now it's just canceled. So I guess there were some repercussions.
Okay, well, it's a show I never watched. I don't care.
Right.
So this was interesting. We talked about how Bully Ray and me and Konnan last week were talking about they weren't telling any stories about why Deanna Purrazzo and Tony Storm were, like any backstory. So they actually had a video package this week that said Deanna Purrazzo talking about how her tattoos represent times in her life, and she said that she and Tony Storm got matching ducks. She said they were willy, but it also symbolizes her journey. And Purrazzo asked what the matching tattoos means to Storm. So isn't that funny that we kind of said, hey, why don't you explain something about the tattoos? And they actually put a video package this week to explain something about the tattoos.
That is funny.
And I wonder if that's because of Bully Ray. We actually said that's one of the things. So I was like, I mean, go figure, right?
Because they went out of the way to do it, right?
Right.
It could be a coincidence. So whatever.
Right. So Jay White and the Guns and the Scissor Gang did a really weird segment. White spoke briefly, then Caster took his turn and said something was missing, and Caster told Bowens to get Card Blade. Bowens pulled out a cardboard cutout of Jay White, and the Bullet Club Gold members indicated that they fired Card Blade. So then they pulled out the cardboard cutout of Juice Robinson. Then Austin tried to do his father's shtick, but Billy cut him off and did it instead, and they all did the guns up and scissored at the end. What did you think of this? This
Waste
did
of
nothing to
time.
forward any
But
angle.
this is the
Yeah.
comedy. Well, the angle is that the Scissor Gang joined these guys. I don't know why. Okay,
Right.
and so now they can, let's say, scissor bang bang or whatever. For some reason, the cardboard cutout of Juice got a huge pop. Okay,
Right.
but that's over to that crowd. This is comedy. That's all it is.
Right. So next was they did Deanna Purrazzo against Tyra, and Tyra and Johnny they were making out at one point during this match, kissing each other ringside with tongue.
Yeah.
So Storm was in on commentary. This match started off fine, and then it got kind of like, bro. Did you see the spot where they were doing the 1-2, where they were like forearm each other back and forth, but they were slapping each other in the side of the thing, like did you see that spot where they were like?
No, I saw when they were doing the forearm, but I didn't see where they were slapping.
They were like, like when you're slapping the person trying to make the sound, but they were slapping each other trying to make the slap sound, but it was just plainly obvious. It just looked like they were slapping each other in the belly. And Purrazzo goes over, and after so Purrazzo went over, so poor Tyra just, whatever. But at the end, Purrazzo shoved out Tyra into Storm, and then and she put her into this submission where she put her arms behind her. That didn't look like
that was ridiculous. I didn't. Yeah,
that's like a shoot,
good.
But I'm assuming Tyra and Storm are going to have a match next week because Purrazzo shoved Tyra into Storm at the announce table at some point during the match, I would guess. So Renee Paquette interviewed Darby backstage, and Matt Jackson, the Jacksons, interrupt him. They were in headsets. And Matt said they love Allen and asked him why he's letting a 65-year-old blood-sucking leech take money out of his pocket. And Matt said once Sting goes, they go from a hot trio. Matt said they went through a goth phase in high school, and Nick asked Allen if he had a problem with him. Allen said the only thing on his mind was the AEW tag team titles. And the Jacksons agreed they would need to get Allen's attention in a different way. I thought Allen could have got a better line in there at the end.
Wait a minute. So I forgot to say this. I like the yellow hair that Ty came out with, right?
Mm-hmm.
If her husband's or Johnny's gonna be out there, why isn't he interfering? They need to turn Storm, bro. She just steals the whole show.
Right.
And like when they were doing close-ups of her and she was doing all the Zoolander faces, like hilarious. And I like when she told Tony Schiavone, I know where the camera is, and they are always rolling. So that was funny. Blue Ice, what?
Blue Steel. Never mind. That's the Zoolander look. Blue Steel.
Right.
Yes. All right. So next is so for some reason Hangman Page chose Rob Van Dam to challenge Swerve in a hardcore match.
Yeah.
Right? So and Rob Van Dam looks good. By the way, he's good shape. He doesn't really look like he's lost his step. He doesn't look
super over.
Super over. So this was good old school match. At the end, Joe was at ringside on commentary, doing get his stuff in.
He was great at ringside because he wanted the other guy to win.
Right. So Swerve goes over, and after the match, Hangman Page comes out, and basically they had a verbal confrontation. And Swerve said that basically he pinned Page twice now and didn't have anything to prove. And Swerve said Page is just upset that he can't beat him, and Page said Swerve didn't beat him. Took the entire Mogul Embassy to beat him. And Page said man-to-man, Swerve can't lace his boots. Then Swerve said he would give Page one more match and then they were done. And Swerve said once he gets past Page, his focus will be on the AEW World Championship. And Samoa Joe was shown smiling while they watched the broadcast table. So we're going to go third time, Swerve versus Page. I guess is it next week on Dynamite? I guess, so whatever. What'd you think of this? Oh, and Tony has a big announcement next week. Huge announcement next
week. And that's which usually isn't that big. But and only the hardcore fans are gonna be interested in this match. We'll see how many there are. know,
Right.
because that's going to be
Yeah.
one of their pitches. We forgot to mention Brian Cage interfered, which
Mhm.
and then Hook came out, and the size differential when they were punching was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Di, this is a number one contenders match for next week's Dynamite, but I don't think it should have went there because clearly the right move was for Van Dam to go over and become world champion. But you know,
Let me ask you, Joe. Pull up the rankings. Tony's rankings.
you told me
Correct
you
me
didn't
if I'm
care.
wrong. I don't. No, pull them up because I don't think is Wardlow in there in the top 5.
I didn't see him, but let's see.
I don't
No,
think
he
he
wasn't.
is. Well, why wouldn't he be? The guy hadn't lost in forever.
He was inactive for a while,
Good.
right?
Good point.
Swerve,
I think-
Hangman, Edge, Moxley, Roderick Strong, top 5.
And no Wardlow. This.
Nope.
I mean, bro. The way they're telling stories, the top 3 should be Swerve, Hangman Page, Wardlow. That's the storyline they have going with Joe. Like, I don't know, whatever. And why is that? Why shouldn't Christian Cage be? Oh, Christian Cage is champion. Yeah, so he's not. He's obviously ranked ahead of that.
Oh yeah,
Well,
TNT.
so this show is kind of like just random matches thrown together. Not a lot of forwarding of storyline.
Okay, how did this happen? The number 2 contenders for the tag team championships are John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
They're probably winning a lot of Rampage matches or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
You know, that we
Okay,
don't
they
see.
my bad.
They actually had tweeted because people were questioning that on Twitter, and they had to respond, and they said, "We're winning the matches that you don't see." That's how they describe
Okay,
it. So,
way to
yeah,
put it
all right,
over the product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's been our AEW review.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom. Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100. My co-host Disco Inferno. Unfortunately,
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
listen. Every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!